Good morning all. DJ Styles here at Custom Corpses. It's snowing and raining and all kinds of mess out there today. So I figured I'm going to do this fix on this mask. Let me get cozy. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I figured I'm going to cover this whole area inside the mouth. And this is the fabric. This is the 4-way stretch fabric. And I want to catch the corner of it, wherever that might be. There it is right there. And just cutting some pieces off that'll allow me to do what I want to do. I'm only going to I'm going to do 2 pieces of this fabric. And I don't want to make them real big because I don't want a bunch of a leftover, seam. Now I have to cut this stuff off here. Let me cut into this a little bit. Cut this off. It's got some kind of pattern on it. Yeah, I gotta get new scissors. Harbor Freight right around the corner from me now, so I think I'll be going there to get some good scissors for this kind of thing. All right, so we're going to cut this way. Doesn't have to be perfect. I don't know if I'm in frame. Shoot. Now, it's not a perfect square. Doesn't need to be. As a matter of fact, I'm going to take off some of the. See how the end here is. See how it's frayed? I'm going to take that off. That's on the end of the fabric. So. Oh yeah. There we go. Now that's a nice piece to work with. Now that's one piece. I'm going to use 2 pieces. I got my brush ready. I'm getting ready to turn this mask inside out. Now, I'm no expert at this. I'm actually trying this for the first time myself. But I ain't afraid to do things. And that's because this mask isn't for sale. But you can see the split in the lip right here. That's what I'm looking to mend. I'm looking to sew this up. The reason why I can't sell this mask is there is a limitation on how thick you want your masks. I learned this lesson the hard way. You don't want your mask too thick because then they shrink up too much. And this is the lesson that I've just learned over the last I'd say the last year or so. I've always wanted to put a really thick mask out there for everybody to see. You never have to worry about it going, deteriorating on you and, but the best way to go is I honestly feel like you can't go much thicker than a 1/16, a little bit more than a 1/16. You start getting into that 1/4 inch thickness, like maximum thickness of a mask. You start running into all kinds of stuff. Okay, this is the latex. This is the brush that I'm going to use for the latex. All right. Now the first thing I have to do is turn this mask inside out. This is going to be fun to do because this mask is really stiff. Look at this. It's so thick. Look how thick that mask is. That is maximum thickness. That's sitting in a mold for way too long. I probably got maybe 4 hours of sit time inside the mold. And believe it or not, this mask was a lot bigger at one point. Geez, it don't even want to fold. Okay, I'm going to make it happen though. Regardless of what happens, I'm going to make it happen. Now, I'm going to break out. I forgot one thing. I want to break out the sander disc for my Dremel, because I want to make sure that this is well sanded right in the area here. it's well sanded right in here. Now this mask is inside out. I don't need to turn the nose inside out. That just makes it more difficult. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but this is the seam we're gonna fix. But I got to sand in this area. Hopefully I'm in frame. I have to sand in this area here because we're gonna stick latex onto the mask. And then we're going to put the fabric on and then brush more latex over top of the fabric and then really embed it into this mask. And then I'm going to let it cure inside out just like this for probably a day or two. And then we're going to turn it the other way around and then backfill it from the other side of the mask. So, okay, so the first thing I got to do is, you know, do I really want to... I got something that'll work better. Yes, I do. I just want to scratch this up is all I'm trying to do. I got a little file here. I just want to scratch this latex. Jesus, I hope I'm in frame. I'm just scratching it up and making it rough so the latex adheres to. Good enough? I don't know, I can't see. Take the glasses off because I can't see close up anymore. It's terrible. Yeah, that's scratching it nice. I gotta get closer to the camera. All right. All I'm doing is I'm really just really digging into this just creating some really good scratches in here. Don't have to be perfectly sanded as long as it's got something to grab to. The latex and I keep pulling it out of frame, I know it. Like, I don't really care if this really works. I do to make sure that it does work. I want to make sure that it works. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to stick this back onto the, and you see how I got it all scratched up here, right? That's just to give the latex something to grab onto. Because this is cured latex and this is fresh latex. And you definitely don't want to... All right, so here we go. Are we in frame, I hope? Make sure I'm in frame for you guys. I'm just going to put a little latex right here. I got a little squeeze bottle. And we're going to brush it around. Something to grab onto. Now, I definitely don't want any latex going onto the outside of the mask. Because the reason why, and I'm putting it right on the brush, sometimes it's easier to just do it that way. Okay, I've got a pretty good, I want a good coat on there because honestly I want this fabric to like really stick to this and not, I don't want to have to worry about it coming off. So I'm gumming it up in some areas where it's got, you know, it's got puddles on there, which is fine. Yes, sir. Now, okay, so next thing we want to do is stick this fabric on here. And really try to push it into those, you know. Now I can cut off the excess once I have what I want on there. So now I'm putting latex over top of the fabric, and then I'm going to repeat the process. Oops. Getting it on the table, but ain't no big deal. Latex come right off this table, no problem. I'm just concerned with making sure that the fabric is stuck to the surface. Good enough to where, now I'll trim all this around, you know, where it's not. I want to make sure I leave a little flexibility in there. All right. Okay, next step. Yeah, I better put more latex on there because when I stick that next piece of fabric on there. Now this is a 4-way stretch fabric. It's Lycra, the same stuff they use in dance skins, only it's got the holes in it. You can see the holes. It's a very thin fabric. It's important that you get the thin stuff, and I'll tell you why. So you want the holes to be dense enough, but you can see through it. See my hands, see my fingers, you can see right through that. You know, that's what you want. Okay, next piece. Like I said, you embed that in there. I might even need another piece, but that's okay. You know what? No, I'm not going to do 2 pieces. I got it pretty thick. That stuff's strong. And once the latex is embedded in there, reason why I kind of got a little scared there is because, and like I said, I'm trying this for the first time myself, is it felt like the whole thing was shifting. So I don't want that to happen. I mean, I can wait for that to dry somewhat, and then push the envelope as far as. But I'm going to break out my heat gun in a few seconds to push this process along, so I can turn this inside out with one. I got to watch it with the heat gun though, because I don't want to melt the Lycra. That's mainly a what's it called? Nylon based, and it'll melt. It'll melt big time. Yes, it will. Let's keep the table clean because my wife needs to use this table. Okay. Now, once I dry this, I'm going to put a couple coats on this, obviously. I'm not going to flip this around until I get a couple coats on here. Tell Kyle that I'll take them in, just in case. Oh, okay, let's go. Okay, well, I'm going to pause this and we'll make another video once I get back. Okay, be right back, guys, for the next part.